later when we create protected routes that we only want authenticated users to access, we're going to be implementing the authenticate middleware. So this will redirect any users that aren't signed in. So for things like liking someone's post or updating your profile, you don't want people to access this if they're not signed in. But at the moment we have a problem. I'm currently signed in, but I can still access pages like sign up and sign in. So this isn't a massive issue, but it's nice to not allow people to access this if they're signed in, because really they don't need to. So let's take a look at the root middleware that we have. This is under app, HTTP and middleware. And we'll take a look at the authenticate one first. So this middleware will basically check if a user is a guest. If they are, we have an AJAX handler here which will return a response with a 401 status code. And otherwise it will redirect the user to guest auth login. Now we need to modify this because later on we're going to be doing this a little bit differently. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this and we're going to say auth.signin. That's important that we change that now because when we come to use it later, we need to redirect to the right place. Now we also have redirect if authenticated. So what this will do is if the user is authenticated, we can choose what to do with them. So if we open up our routes file here, for sign up, for our GET request, for our post, and the same for the sign in, we want to make sure that the user is actually a guest because we don't want them to access it if they are signed in. So I'm going to do this in a very verbose way. You can create root groups, but I'll let you decide how you want to organize these based on how this application grows for you. But in this case, we specify middleware here. This is an array because we can have multiple middleware. And in here, I'm going to say guest. Now, where's this guest value coming from? Because over in here, I can't see anywhere where it actually says guest, apart from obviously, in here where we see this guest method. So how are these being named? Well, we have this kernel file here, which contains our middleware, and it also contains our root middleware. So we have auth basic, which we're not going to be using, and we have guest. And you can see that these point to redirect if authenticated and authenticate. So this is how we name that in our root. So if we go ahead and just copy this and paste it here as well, we don't want to be able to access the post route as well, and we go over to sign up. That's going to redirect us off to home. Now obviously that doesn't exist, so we need to update that. So over in redirect if authenticated, let's say redirect to root home. So now when we go to sign up, that redirects us straight off home and we can just carry on as normal. So the last thing to do then, now that we've understood how that works, is just copy this and paste it for sign in as well. So we know that we can't access that. And to sign out, technically you need to be authenticated, but I'm not going to add it to this. It doesn't really make sense. So we'll just double check our sign in route. And there we go. We're redirected off. So that's just a little look at the middleware that we have. We have authenticate, which hopefully you understand now. We're redirecting the users to the right place if they are not authenticated. And we can use the guest method. That just allows us to perform specific actions afterwards. But you can go ahead and say redirect route if you really want to. And we have seen redirect if authenticated, which is essentially a guest route. And we know where these are kept as well if you want to add any more to your root middleware. So that's it. We've now protected against that. When we're signed out, we can go ahead and sign up and sign in as usual.